Hello, I am Adrian Pay, and I'm excited to be presenting GRC-Maestro and showing how the technology helps regulators around the world drive better compliance with anti-money laundering, sanctions, and also licensing compliance. Regulators have been under pressure for decades, and the post-pandemic environment has seen a further escalation. The FATF-sponsored inspections are moving in to focus on regulators' AML operational effectiveness. The events in the Ukraine have dramatically increased the scope of sanctions along with the penalties for non-compliance. And the financial services sector has developed greatly in size and scale, notably the range of products and services being offered, innovations in such areas as crypto, and also more complex cross-border relationships. All of this means that national regulators have to upgrade their approach to licensing, monitoring, and also enforcement. The GRC-Maestro platform can help regulators across their operations, including preparing, analysing and producing their national risk assessments, thematic reviews, consultations and fact finds, as well as compliance monitoring. Technology can transform the way regulators operate. Firstly, there's efficiency. Using GRC-Maestro, regulators can ensure everyone is more productive. And then there are analytics, which is my favourite application of technology. Producing quantifiable data means it's possible to quickly analyse the results and produce the reports. Finally, it's also important to mention that automating compliance reduces the number of human errors and oversights. I would like to explain how GRC-Maestro works before we look at how regulators use the platform. The Maestro questionnaires can be used to record information on regulated firms, whether as part of a national risk assessment, thematic review, or industry consultation. GRC-Maestro also monitors the responses to questions submitted by regulated firms to identify anomalies and can be used by the regulated firms themselves to report periodic information or make event-driven reports. The platform creates and launches questionnaires, manages the questionnaires, and records the responses to the questions. And finally, the data can be exported to regulators' own management information tools, a topic I'll return to later. Running an annual NRA is resource-intensive and time-consuming. GRC-Maestro helps manage the NRAs. It aggregates results and allows regulators to analyse them. When conducting thematic reviews, regulators can ask firms for quantitative data as well as qualitative responses to add to their understanding. The quantitative data can be used, of course, for statistical analysis, and regulators can optionally add best practices for firms to reference. Regulators can engage with firms as well as other interested parties using GRC-Maestro to notify them of the proposed regulatory changes, record the feedback, analyse responses, and to produce a report based on the feedback. Monitoring visits are an essential part of every regulator's toolkit, but they are also resource intensive. By using pre-monitoring visit questionnaires, regulators can better identify high-risk firms to prioritise for inspection and allows them to focus on the highest risk areas within those firms. Optionally, regulators can also use risk scoring to produce quantifiable data to determine whether to take disciplinary action. GRC-Maestro can help firms identify potential issues. In this example, a rule has been built into the question. The answer to the question has generated an issue for investigation and resolution, and a compliance manager has been emailed a notification. GRC-Maestro also helps firms with their record-keeping requirements. In this instance, the answer to one question has triggered additional questions, including the requirement to attach a file. We also have input validation. Questionnaires can be launched based on a predefined schedule. They can also be launched manually on demand or based on events in other systems. The Maestro questionnaires are fully dynamic, so when a respondent answers a single question, that can open up a whole section of questions or additional individual questions. If an answer to a question fails a rule check, then an issue is created. The compliance manager can then do an investigation and classify the issue as a pass or a fail, including the reason. It's also possible to add tasks to each issue, and again, these tasks have to be closed before the issue can be resolved. For me, the ability to create charts and graphs is the most powerful feature of GRC-Maestro. The data recorded in the system can be exported to business intelligence tools like Power BI, Click, and Tableau. Data is easily augmented in these business intelligence tools to add more powerful charts and graphs. And the business intelligence tools usually have publishing and sharing functionality, so authorized managers can access data and even create their own analytics. If you'd like to hear more about the GRC-Maestro platform and our assessments, do talk to us. You can talk to Barry Fordemeyer, the CEO of Baker Regulatory, or me, Adrian Pay at Dynamic GRC. And thanks very much for watching.